Welcome to the Lindsay and Tony podcast, where we talk about spirituality, business, and life experiences.
In this podcast, we're bringing our private conversations to you.
We believe that it's through discussion, action, and reflection that true change occurs.
Hi everybody, welcome to episode 164, where we're going to share our insights that we've had from running our psychic medium retreat. In this episode, we're going to share personal stories and experiences that our clients have had while attending this retreat. I hope everybody enjoys the show.
Hey guys, welcome back. We're so excited that you're here. Today's episode is all about the insights that we learned working with psychic mediums at our annual retreat. And this is interesting because I'm a psychic medium, so I'm doing this work full time. Tony also receives psychic mediumship information, so we can speak from ourselves and what we've seen with other people that have attended too.
Right, let's point out the obvious. You're different if you talk to past loved ones, and you can't just talk to anybody about this. And I think that's a common problem that we've heard over and over from clients is it feels so good just to be able to connect with somebody and to be myself, and people not look at me like I'm crazy.
Exactly. You're in a house with a bunch of people, and you're able to have the conversations that may seem weird to, the quote, normal world.
We believe that everybody, Lindsay, you believe this, I believe this, that everybody has the potential to do this, to connect with past loved ones. So it's like why we are so passionate about creating these spaces, whether it's online or in person, to talk about all of this stuff. Not only psychic mediumship, but intuition and quantum physics and the intangible realm, the realm that you got to use your faith and your heart and your feeling to connect with.
Exactly. You might not see it, but it's there. And I think the big thing that we recognize every year, this is my 5th year doing the psychic medium retreat. We have psychic mediums come from all over the world. Some people from Australia, the UK, Canada, there's so many different places, the US. And right when they walk in, you can feel the energy of being in a room with people in general, if you are someone that's developing your psychic mediumship. But when they walk in, there's a sense of peace, just knowing that they feel home. I've noticed that every time that people are like, it's so weird, I feel like I've known you guys forever.
I mean, it could be because it's a
past life
$10 million mansion on the beach and it's beautiful. You look out there,
Yeah.
I know what you're saying too. It's all of that. It's everything. It's the like-minded people there.
Yeah.
It's a great atmosphere. It's the ocean right when you walk in and you see the ocean and through the back windows, and then just that whole feeling that comes over you. So, Lindsay, you started this first. This will be my 4th year. This is Lindsay's 5th year. And you really put so much intention and energy into what you're doing. And I think that's part of why people feel that safe, calm, healing energy whenever they walk into that space.
Yes. And whenever I create, and both of us create, we always create with the intention of letting spirit lead. So that's really powerful, is just allowing guides, past loved ones to come through when we're creating content in this atmosphere. And I really do believe that each time someone shows up at the retreat and they're immersed in this environment, when we're immersed in that energy, it's just like a mastermind. We talk about this. When 2 or more minds come together, a third mind comes in, if you guys have the same intention. And everything is an intentional piece to this retreat. Every little detail down to the food, and this is something that is so important that people feel. And we've noticed a lot of different things, and we have some things written down too.
Yeah, going to what you said with the mastermind effect, that like-minded people coming together, 2 or more. In this case, it's usually about 10, 11, 12 people total with the same intention, the same energy of connecting deeply and developing our mediumship skills deeply. A third mind does come into play, and it starts to raise everybody's energy. I'm speaking from my own experience too, my own energy, even though I'm one of the ones helping lead this.
Yeah.
It does the same thing to me, to where I notice, like you said, on a daily basis, I'm connecting to past loved ones. When I'm there, it's like on steroids, times 1,000. And sometimes I can remember not even being able to go to sleep some of those nights because
I
I'm
know.
so wired, I'm so energized, I'm so tapped in. And that third mind that everybody works so hard to create, spirit starts to come in and do its work.
Exactly. And what ends up happening is what we've noticed, even talking to people after the retreat, there's major shifts that have come up. I was just talking to a student a couple days ago, and she was like, I remember the moment I left the retreat, I started to cut out toxic people in my life, and things started to shift for her. And we didn't talk about cutting people out. It was the energy that took place, this high vibrational place that you can't go anywhere but up after that. And another thing that she shared with me too was she's like, I now had to get a sound machine and play the ocean waves at my house because she was falling asleep with the ocean waves in the background at the retreat. She opened her door and she fell asleep to them. There's so many things that can take place that comes up.
Right. Another thing that I noticed was it's like the law of inertia. Like something will keep on going until another force comes and stops it and makes it turn in directions. Kind of like what you were referring to.
Yeah.
And that's what I look at. People, they come to this retreat and their life is not the same afterwards. It's like all of a sudden they're in this rat race and they're going, and they're used to their regular life, right? You're used to your regular daily life, what you're doing, and then all of a sudden you come into this space for 3 days, 2 nights, and all of a sudden, in a blink of an eye, your whole life is different. You go back to your old life and you look at it with new glasses. And that's what we've heard from past retreat clients, from ourselves. We've experienced it to where you just look at your world with a whole new perspective, to where some of the things that you used to be attracted to, you're no longer attracted to. And you're starting to realize that your energy shifted and it's starting to resonate with different energies that you used to not resonate with.
Right. And I've talked to, just alone in the past couple of years, over 3 people that have either retired early or quit their full-time jobs to go full-time with their spiritual business. Like, they knew that they had to leave. And it wasn't anything that, they were told, you need to quit your job. It was a feeling that bubbled up. Like, already there's feelings that come up before you go to something like this. But when you're immersed in this, there's no going back. Your life changes in so many different ways. And you said at the beginning, like, even though you're a part of leading the retreat, you have things that have changed for you. When I end the retreat, I'm like, what the heck just happened? Even though we've done a lot of planning with it, everything's detailed, but so much stuff shifts each year. This is the 5th year that we'll be doing it, that I'll be going through with these things that we're carrying out, and I know the magic that takes place each time.
Right, and the thing is, it's not like this is a guarantee for anybody that goes to the retreat, they're going to go quit their job and do all of that. These, what I noticed different about the people that show up to these retreats are, these are people that are committed. Like, they are committed to their growth, they're committed to getting out of their own way, and they're committed to knowing that what got them to the point that they're at currently is not going to get them to where they want to go. And I think that's what they start to realize on their own. It's not like Lindsay's saying, it's not like we're telling them, hey, you need to quit your job, you need to do this, you need to do that. I think sometimes people think that's what life coaching is. It's like you go to them and they tell you everything to do. No, it's like the most powerful teachers and coaches, they know how to create that space to where you find your own answers, right? Lindsay and myself, we don't know all of the answers for you, but you do. And the thing is, the people that show up committed, those are the ones that start to find those in-depth answers that transform their lives.
Yes, and to go along with that, I'm thinking of, when I created the retreat, I was thinking there's going to be a lot of people that are similar to me, where they're going to be empathic. They may be introverted. There's a mix of people, there's all different people there, but they're going to want their own alone time too, because you're doing this deep inner work as you're going throughout. So you kind of need that space to process everything that's happening. So that's one of the things that I felt was really important to build into the retreat, is that you have that time to go inward, and you have those breaks, like early in the morning, where you don't even need to talk to anyone if you don't want to. You can walk on the beach before you go to bed. You could hang out, stay up, or you can sit outside on the beach or go back and journal. Like whatever it is that feels good for your soul, because everyone's on their individual journey. So they're doing it at their own pace, but at the same time, they're doing it in a space like if they need to come to the group and share, they can. It's not like a forced thing. If you feel like I want to sit out for this, then you sit out for it. Most people do everything that's put out there. They don't want to miss anything, even to run to the bathroom. They're like, oh my God, I don't want to miss anything. But this is how it is. And I keep thinking like, oh my gosh, I want to go to a retreat like this. Like I want to be an attendee, but at the same time, I'm getting so much from it just by leading it, being part of that. And everyone that works with us is intentionally chosen too. Like Natalia, she put so much love into the food. Mark David, he put so much love into the crystal bowl healing. There's so much that takes place inside of this.
There is. And my first retreat that I helped lead was in 2018 actually. And I was intimidated. I was scared. I just quit my teaching job to go full time into this business that we're in.
Yeah.
These businesses that we're in. And I was intimidated because I was saying, I don't want to go to a place to where it's like, I'm with these people I'm not even genuinely connecting with, and in my mind, because I didn't know them, I didn't know, right? Like these were your students at first, you knew them, and I feel like some people might have that before they go to the retreat. They might think, wait, I don't want to. Maybe I'm not on the level that other people are on, mediumship wise. Maybe I'm not personal development wise. And what I realized was the people are curated like so carefully. Like we don't just allow anybody to come, whether you're working at the retreat or whether you're attending, that it creates this relaxing space to where it's like, these are just down to earth people that genuinely want the best for you. And that's what I realized too, even me as the leader feeling like this.
Yeah.
Like I realized that the attendees, like they want the best for you. These are loving people that we choose. We don't just choose anybody. And I think that's what I love the most, not only with the retreats, but our masterminds too. And if you're a business owner, realize this, like you can curate your own clients. Like you could figure out who do you want to show up on in your room, in your Zoom, wherever you're at, whether it's online or in person. And it could be just like it is with like one of your best friends that you connect deeply with, because I believe that's how it's supposed to be. When you attend these retreats, whether you're working at them or you're attending them as a client, I think it's so important to really choose the ones that you're pulled to in your soul. And like the people that show up to the retreat, they all say, we ask them, why did you join the retreat? I just knew in my soul. My spirit guides were telling me. It was very clear. These are all highly intuitive people. So if you're thinking about going on this retreat, don't look at so much on the outside for the right answers. Like go internally, you'll know.
Well, and I've spoke with some people that they said that like when they came in and they shared, like at the very beginning, they shared that. And then other people have shared, like, I was really scared. Like I was close to putting it off to do it the next year. Like I knew my soul wanted to do it, but I was making excuses in my mind because I'm like, oh, maybe this isn't the right time. I don't know if this is right for me right now. Like I might not be on that level, or I might not have this going for me. Like how am I going to, take time off of work or take time away from my kids? Like they had every excuse not to do it, but something in their soul pulled them. Like their heart knew, like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. Like I remember one of my students that came from Australia. She had to fly across the world, 20 something hours. She brought her son to vacation after. And she's like, I was thinking about it and I was like, life's too short. I'm just going to do it. So it's one of those things that those are the people that we want at the retreat. Like we want those people that know in their soul that something's pulling them. They feel kind of scared to take the leap, but they know that, okay, you know what? I'm just going to do it because I know that I'm ready for change. I would not recommend this to you if you're someone that does not like change, like does not want change, I should say. Like you're feeling like, if I can't have any more change in my life right now, don't come. Because that's what's going to happen. Like whether you like it or not, change is going to come and it's going to be a good thing.
Right. And sometimes that is confusing, right? You think it's your intuition telling you when that fear comes up, you think that's your intuition telling you, no, you're not supposed to go to this retreat, or your flight got changed, so no, I can't go to this retreat, or all these different excuses that you have. why you think it's your intuition. What I would say for you is it's a hell yes or hell no.
Yeah.
Like, you know, in your soul, and ask yourself that question. Say, is this a hell yes or is this a hell no? There's no in between. Your soul comes up with the answer when you ask it that way.
True.
And I think this goes to the power of decision making, because if you're hesitating on whether you should go to a retreat, I know that you're doing that in every other area of your life. So this is a call to start practicing powerful decision making, even when you're scared, like Lindsay was referring to. Half these people that show up to these retreats, they're like how I was in the first retreat. They're scared out of their minds, but they know it's a hell yes inside. They know that this is going to make their soul grow at a rate that it wouldn't otherwise.
Yeah. And you know, this is making me think too. I'm thinking of the people that showed up. Some of the people that came, they had taken a mediumship class of mine, or they were in Unlock Your Inner Medium or in the business program. But some of them weren't sure if they were going to be full-time mediums. You know, they weren't sure about that. And some of them were full-time mediums already, and some of them went to be full-time mediums. But that's not a decision that you have to make before you come to the retreat. That's one thing that I want to mention is it doesn't matter what level you're at, you're showing up, you're experiencing this journey, and maybe you end up doing mediumship. Maybe you end up going in the direction of energy healing, or maybe it's, you know, tarot cards, like whatever it is. We don't learn tarot cards there, but your soul will get more clarity just by showing up, and you will have experiences for what you need. If you don't feel drawn to it at all, then you know it's not for you, though. Like, that's how you know.
It's a hell no.
Yeah. If you're like, oh, I want to do that next year, then that means that you want to do it. So that's different, you know. But if you don't, if it's like, oh, I don't want to be in that place, you know, like I don't feel drawn to the ocean, I don't want to be around people, I don't want a small intimate group, I'd rather something big, and you know, I'd rather do, you know, a bunch of other things like excursions. If you want that kind of retreat, this is not the one for you, because we don't do excursions. This is a vacation for your soul while you're learning. People at the end, they're like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm like energized and tired at the same time, because so much has happened in this short amount of time in, you know, this day that I'm going. Like, I'm excited for tomorrow, but I can't believe this is happening, you know? So a lot of people are like, how can that happen in a couple days before they join? They're like, well, I can go and travel outside the country and go for 7 days. But they realize, you know what, my soul is being drawn to this, and there's a reason. And that's the immersive thing that you feel.
Right, because it's not about, because time doesn't exist, right? So time doesn't exist. So what we're doing is it's like what Tony Robbins would always say, he's turning decades into a day. Like, he's going to teach you what he learned in a decade in 1 day. And I feel like that's what the mastermind effect, along with the information that's shared there, along with that third mind coming in, it starts to compress these time frames, and it moves energy, it moves each of our souls to where our energy goes to a higher frequency. And once you do that, everything in your life starts to transform from that space. So if you're committed, this is about commitment too, I think. Mm-hmm. This is about people, whether you're going to join us at our next retreat, or you're going to somebody else's retreat, or you're doing something in your own business. I think another insight I got from all this, which we kind of talked about already a little bit, is just the commitment factor.
Yeah.
Like, when you're committed to something, when you're planning out this retreat, you're putting all the details to it, or you're attending it, or whatever you're doing, you show that full commitment to it. Yeah. I think that's where power is, because then the power is in your decision. You made a decision, and now I'm committed. And I think that's huge. So what I want to ask you is, what are you committed to this year? What are you committed to in your business? What are you committed to in your relationships? And then also, what actions are you going to take this year that are going to get you to that end destination that you see in your mind? Because if you do what you did last year, you're going to get exactly what you got last year, or maybe even worse. The thing is, you're either changing, or you're either getting better, or you're getting worse. There's no in between, because it's the law of life, right? We're always changing.
Yeah. And that's a perfect thing to think about. And the other thing is I just remembered as you were talking about that, one of my students said, I just knew I wanted to commit. Like, she made the decision she was going to commit to it. So she booked it, and she's like, I figured out all the details later. Like, you know, the transportation, all of that. She's like, that wasn't something that I thought of beforehand. I just booked it and knew. So I'm not forcing you into this one, but I'm saying if you're someone that's been thinking of the one that we have coming up in April, this is something to think about. But also there's other retreats out there too that may be geared towards other things for you, like yoga or excursions. And this one's specifically for psychic mediumship. So it depends, what is bubbling up in your soul. But one of the things that I want to share too, to have that certainty in your mind, is if you have questions for us, I've been getting on the phone or getting on Zoom and answering those questions too. So if you want more info about our upcoming Psychic Medium Retreat, April 23rd to the 26th, then send me a message and I'll answer everything that I can for you. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we did. If you liked it, leave a 5-star review on iTunes, and remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel too.
If you can think of anyone else that would love this episode, share it with them right now on social media or email. And remember, getting results is a process of learning, applying, and reflecting. Stay consistent and continue to grow every day.